The best traders in the world spend 90% of their time doing absolutely nothing. This is not laziness. This is not luck. This is the exact opposite of what you have been taught about success your entire life. You have been told that winners work harder than losers. You have been told that success comes from taking massive action. You have been told that fortune favors the brave and that hesitation is the enemy of achievement. In almost every area of life, this is true. The student who studies more hours gets better grades. The athlete who trains harder wins more medals. The salesperson who makes more calls closes more deals. But trading is different. Trading breaks all the rules you know about success. And this is exactly why 90% of traders fail. They fail because they bring the wrong operating system to the game. They fail because they apply effort where stillness is needed. They fail because they mistake motion for progress and activity for achievement. Let me tell you why everything you believe about hard work is destroying your trading account. Think about how you learned to succeed in life. From the moment you could walk, you were rewarded for doing more. Your parents praised you for trying harder. Your teachers gave you gold stars for extra effort. Every movie you watched showed the hero winning through determination and relentless action. Society programmed you to believe that more effort equals more results. This programming runs so deep that you cannot imagine any other way to succeed. When something is not working, your automatic response is to do more of it. Not getting results? Work harder. Still failing? Work even harder. This is the only formula you know. And in most areas of life, this formula works brilliantly. Want to get fit? Exercise more. Want to learn a language? Practice more. Want to build a business? Put in more hours. The relationship between effort and results is usually linear and predictable. Double the input, double the output. But here is where trading becomes a beautiful trap for the ambitious mind. You come to the markets with all your programming intact. You see opportunity everywhere. Every price movement looks like money waiting to be captured. Every chart pattern seems to scream for action. Your mind races with possibilities. This is what ambition looks like. This is what winners do, right? So you trade. You trade in the morning. You trade in the afternoon. You trade when the market moves up. You trade when it moves down. You trade on news. You trade on technicals. You trade on gut feeling. You are a machine of action and effort. And then something strange happens. The harder you work, the more money you lose. This cannot be right, you think. So you double down on effort. You wake up earlier to catch the European markets. You stay up later for the Asian session. You read more books. You watch more videos. You try more strategies. You add more indicators to your charts until they look like abstract art. You subscribe to more signal services. You join more trading groups. But your results get worse, not better. Every extra hour of screen time costs you money. Every new strategy adds to your losses. Every additional indicator clouds your judgment. The harder you try, the faster you sink. Now comes the really painful part. You start to question yourself at a deep level. Maybe you are not smart enough. Maybe you do not have what it takes. Maybe successful traders have some special talent that you lack. The confusion eats at you. How can more effort produce worse results? This violates everything you know about cause and effect. You watch other traders seemingly print money while you bleed capital. They must be working even harder than you assume. They must know something you do not. So you push yourself to exhaustion. You stare at charts until your eyes burn. You take trades from your phone while eating dinner. You dream about candlesticks and wake up checking futures. Your family starts to worry. Your health deteriorates. Your confidence crumbles. But you cannot stop because stopping feels like giving up. And winners never give up, right? This is where 90% of traders find themselves. Trapped in a cycle where their greatest strength has become their greatest weakness. Their work ethic, their ambition, their refusal to quit, all the qualities that made them successful in life, are now destroying them in the markets. Let me tell you what is really happening. Trading is not like running a marathon where the person who pushes hardest wins. Trading is like being a sniper. And what does a sniper do most of the time? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. A sniper waits. A sniper watches. A sniper breathes. A sniper does not fire at every movement in the bushes. A sniper waits for the perfect shot, and until that shot appears, the sniper does nothing. Imagine if a sniper operated like most traders. He would fire constantly. He would shoot at shadows. He would empty magazine after magazine at anything that moved. He would rationalize this as being proactive and aggressive. And he would miss every important target while revealing his position to the enemy. This is exactly what you do when you overtrade. Every unnecessary trade reveals your position to the market. Every forced entry weakens your capital. Every impulsive action clouds your judgment for the next decision. The market is not impressed by your hard work. The market does not care how many hours you spend analyzing charts. The market does not reward you for effort. The market only rewards you for being right, and being right has almost nothing to do with how hard you try. Let me share something that will sound insane to your achievement-oriented mind. The best trade you can make is often the trade you do not make. Success in trading is more about what you do not do than what you do. It is about the opportunities you reject, not the ones you take. Think about a master chess player. Does he move pieces constantly to show how hard he is working? No. He sits still. He thinks. He waits. Sometimes he spends 20 minutes on a single move. To an observer, it looks like he is doing nothing. But in that stillness, he is seeing 10 moves ahead. In that silence, he is calculating possibilities. In that patience, he is setting up victory. Now think about how an amateur plays chess. He moves quickly. He reacts immediately. He tries to capture pieces whenever possible. He mistakes activity for strategy. And he loses to the master who made fewer moves but better moves. This is the first trap where effort backfires in trading. The activity trap. Your brain is designed to seek action when it feels threatened or excited. When you see the market moving, your primitive brain screams at you to do something. This is the same brain that helped your ancestors survive by reacting instantly to danger. But in trading, this instinct is poison. Every time you act on this impulse, you are trading from emotion, not logic. You are trading from fear or greed, not analysis. You are letting your primitive brain override your rational mind. And the market feeds on primitive brains like a shark feeds on wounded fish. The second trap is the complexity trap. When your simple strategy fails, you assume it needs to be more complex. So you add indicators. You add rules. You add conditions. You create elaborate systems that require spreadsheets to track. You convince yourself that complexity equals sophistication. But here is what really happens. Every layer of complexity you add creates more opportunities for error. Every additional indicator gives you conflicting signals. Every extra rule makes you hesitate when you should act and act when you should wait. The best traders in the world use systems so simple that a child could understand them. They might use 1 or 2 indicators. They might follow 3 or 4 rules. That is it. They win not because their system is complex, but because they execute it perfectly over and over without deviation. Think about In-N-Out Burger. They have been using the same menu since 1948. Burgers, fries, shakes. That is it. While other fast food chains add complexity with hundreds of menu items, In-N-Out does 3 things exceptionally well. And they print money. Your trading should be like In-N-Out. Simple, consistent, excellent. Not like a restaurant with a 50-page menu where nothing is done well. The third trap is the optimization trap. You constantly tweak your system. You adjust your indicators. You modify your rules. You optimize your parameters. You backtest endlessly. You are always one adjustment away from the perfect system. But perfection in trading is a mirage. While you chase the perfect system, you miss good trades with your current system. While you optimize for past data, the market shifts to new patterns. While you tinker with settings, real opportunities pass you by. This is like a photographer who spends so much time adjusting camera settings that he misses the sunset. The photo that could have been beautiful at f8 will never exist because he was trying to calculate if f11 would be better. The fourth trap is the information trap. You consume trading content like an addict. You watch every YouTube video. You read every blog post. You follow every expert on Twitter. You subscribe to every newsletter. You believe that more information equals better decisions. But information without implementation is just entertainment. Worse, contradictory information creates paralysis. One expert says buy, another says sell. One strategy says hold, another says exit. You end up frozen, unable to act because you have too many voices in your head. This is like trying to learn swimming by watching Olympic races. You can watch 10,000 hours of swimming videos, but until you get in the water and practice the same basic strokes repeatedly, you will drown. If you are serious about transforming your trading results and want to learn the exact system that profitable traders use to stay disciplined, I have something special for you. But first, let me show you why everything changes when you understand the real game being played here. You see, the market is not testing your intelligence. It is testing your discipline. The market is not measuring your effort. It is measuring your patience. The market is not rewarding complexity. It is rewarding clarity. Success in trading operates by inverse logic. The more you trade, the less you make. The harder you try, the worse you perform. The more complex your system, the more likely you fail. The more information you consume, the less clearly you think. This is why trading is psychologically brutal for high achievers. Everything that made you successful in life makes you fail in trading. Your strengths become weaknesses. Your assets become liabilities. Your instincts betray you. But once you understand this inversion, everything changes. Once you accept that less is more, you stop fighting the market and start flowing with it. Once you realize that patience is action, you stop forcing trades and start selecting them. Once you see that simplicity is sophistication, you stop adding and start subtracting. Let me tell you what real work looks like in trading. Real work is sitting in front of your screen for 4 hours and taking 0 trades because your setup did not appear. Real work is letting a profitable position run when every cell in your body screams to take profits. Real work is cutting a loss quickly when your ego begs for one more chance. Real work is following your system when your gut says this time is different. Real work in trading is invisible. It happens in your mind, not on your screen. It is the trade you do not take. It is the rule you do not break. It is the emotion you do not follow. It is the complexity you do not add. Think about a lion hunting. Does a lion chase every animal it sees? Does a lion run constantly to show how hard it is hunting? No. A lion waits. It watches. Conserves energy. It studies patterns. And when the perfect opportunity appears, it strikes with total commitment. One good hunt feeds the lion for days. Most traders hunt like hyperactive dogs, chasing everything that moves, exhausting themselves, catching nothing. The profitable traders hunt like lions, waiting for the perfect setup, striking with precision, feeding on one good trade while others exhaust themselves on 20 bad ones. This principle extends beyond trading into a fundamental truth about mastery. In any field where the outcome depends on decision quality rather than decision quantity, less is more. A surgeon who makes 3 precise cuts beats one who makes 30 uncertain ones. A writer who crafts one powerful paragraph beats one who writes 10 weak pages. A fighter who lands one perfect punch beats one who throws 100 wild swings. But our culture worships busy. We admire the person working 16-hour days. We respect the hustle and grind. We post motivational quotes about outworking the competition. And in many fields, this works. But in trading, busy is death. The market loves busy traders. They provide liquidity. They pay spreads. They generate commissions. They transfer wealth from their accounts to patient traders who wait for real opportunities. Every unnecessary trade you take funds someone else's yacht. Now let me paint you a picture of what happens when you finally understand this truth. You wake up without anxiety. You do not need to catch every move because you know most moves are traps. You open your charts and see noise where you once saw opportunity. You wait for your specific setup, the one you have tested and trusted, the one that appears maybe twice a week. When that setup appears, you take it without hesitation. You risk exactly what your system says. You place your stop where your rules dictate. You set your target based on your plan. Then you walk away. You do not watch every tick. You do not second-guess your decision. You do not move your stop loss up and down like a nervous parent checking on a sleeping baby. You let the trade work or fail based on its merit, not your emotions. Most of your trades win because you only take high probability setups. Your losses are small because you follow your rules. Your profits are substantial because you let winners run. Your account grows steadily not because you trade more, but because you trade better. You spend maybe 2 hours a day actually trading. The rest of your time is yours. You are not chained to your screen. You are not stressed about missing moves. You are not exhausted from information overload. You have achieved what 90% of traders never find: sustainable profitability through systematic simplicity. But here is the beautiful paradox. This simplicity is the hardest thing you will ever achieve. Doing less requires more discipline than doing more. Waiting requires more strength than acting. Simplicity requires more confidence than complexity. Anyone can be busy. Anyone can trade all day. Anyone can add indicators and rules and conditions until their system looks like a spacecraft control panel. This feels like progress. This looks like sophistication. This satisfies your need to feel productive. But sitting still when the market is moving, that takes warrior discipline. Having one clean chart when everyone else has 20 indicators, that takes supreme confidence. Taking only 5 trades a month when others take 5 trades a day, that takes transcendent patience. This is why 90% fail. Not because trading is intellectually difficult. A bright teenager can understand the mechanics of trading in a weekend. They fail because trading is psychologically brutal. It requires you to act against every instinct. It demands you do the opposite of what feels right. It forces you to be still when you want to move and move when you want to be still. Think about water. When you squeeze it, it escapes. When you grab it, it slips away. The harder you try to control water, the less control you have. But when you cup your hands gently, water rests in them. When you create the right container, water stays where you want it. The market is like water. The harder you squeeze, the more it escapes. The more you grab, the less you hold. But when you approach with patience and gentleness, when you create the right conditions and wait, the market flows into your hands. Most traders are trying to wrestle the market into submission. They are fighting and forcing and pushing and pulling. They are exhausting themselves in a battle that cannot be won through force. Meanwhile, profitable traders are like water themselves, flowing with the market, finding the path of least resistance, accumulating wealth through patience, not power. For those ready to stop wrestling and start flowing, I want to share something that changed everything for me. After years of fighting the market and losing, I discovered a simple 3-part system that transformed my results. If you want to learn this exact approach that professional traders use to identify high probability setups while avoiding the noise, keep listening because what comes next might save you years of painful trial and error. Now let me contrast the wrong effort with the right effort in trading. Wrong effort is taking 10 trades a day. Right effort is waiting 3 days for one perfect trade. Wrong effort is watching 500 YouTube videos. Right effort is mastering one simple strategy. Wrong effort is using 15 indicators. Right effort is understanding price action. Wrong effort is trading every market session. Right effort is specializing in one optimal time. Wrong effort is reacting to every news event. Right effort is ignoring the noise and following your plan. Wrong effort feels productive but produces losses. Right effort feels lazy but produces profits. Wrong effort impresses beginners. Right effort impresses bank accounts. Wrong effort is visible and dramatic. Right effort is invisible and boring. Wrong effort is what 90% do. Right effort is what the 10% do. The surface work in trading is what you see on Instagram. Multiple monitors, complex charts, constant activity, dramatic wins and losses, emotional roller coasters, war stories about market battles. This is theater, not trading. The deep work in trading is what you never see. The trader who takes one trade and goes to the gym. The trader who sees a setup that is only 90% perfect and passes. The trader who loses and feels nothing because the loss was within the system. The trader who wins and feels nothing because the win was expected. Deep work is developing such trust in your system that you never doubt it. Deep work is building such discipline that you never break your rules. Deep work is cultivating such patience that waiting becomes effortless. Deep work is achieving such clarity that complexity becomes repulsive. This is not sexy. This does not make good social media content. You cannot brag about the trades you did not take. You cannot post screenshots of the patience you displayed. You cannot go viral for doing nothing. But this is what real trading looks like. Let me give you a mental model that will crystallize this forever. Imagine two gardeners. The first gardener is constantly busy. He waters his plants 3 times a day. He adds fertilizer daily. He prunes constantly. He replants things that look weak. He tries every new growing technique. He never stops working on his garden. The second gardener planted quality seeds in good soil. He waters once a week, deeply. He fertilizes once a month. He prunes once a season. Otherwise, he sits on his porch, drinking tea, watching his garden grow. Whose garden thrives? The second gardener. The first gardener drowns his plants with water. He burns them with fertilizer. He weakens them by constant replanting. He never gives them time to develop roots. His hyperactivity kills everything he is trying to grow. Your trading account is a garden. Every trade is water. Too much water kills profits just as surely as too little. Every strategy change is like replanting. The plant never develops roots. Every indicator you add is fertilizer. Too much burns everything. The master trader, like the master gardener, understands that growth requires patience. Seeds need time to germinate. Roots need time to deepen. Plants need time to mature. You cannot speed this process by doing more. You can only destroy it. This is the wisdom that separates the 10% from the 90%. The 10% understand that trading is not about conquering the market. It is about aligning with it. Trading is not about imposing your will. It is about surrendering to what is. Trading is not about being right. It is about being profitable. And profitability comes from doing less, not more. Comes from subtracting, not adding. Comes from simplifying, not complicating. Comes from waiting, not chasing. Comes from discipline, not intelligence. Comes from patience, not aggression. Every professional trader learns this truth, usually after losing significant money trying to do the opposite. They all have their wake-up moment when they realize that everything they believed about success was wrong, at least in this arena. They all go through the painful process of unlearning a lifetime of programming about hard work and effort. Some learn this lesson quickly and cheaply. Most learn it slowly and expensively. Some never learn it at all. They remain trapped in the effort paradox, working harder and harder for worse and worse results, eventually leaving the market bitter and confused, blaming everything except their fundamental misunderstanding of how trading really works. But you do not have to follow that path. You can learn from the expensive mistakes of others. You can accept that trading operates by different rules. You can embrace the paradox that less produces more. You can join the 10% who understand that the secret to trading success is not doing more things right, but doing fewer things wrong. Think about breathing. When you try hard to breathe, you hyperventilate. When you force deep breaths, you get dizzy. But when you relax and let breathing happen naturally, you get all the oxygen you need. The effort to breathe harder makes breathing worse. The absence of effort makes breathing perfect. Trading is like breathing. The more you force it, the worse it gets. The more naturally you let it flow, the better your results. The market, like your lungs, knows what to do if you just stop interfering. This brings us to the ultimate truth about trading success. It is not achieved through addition but through subtraction. You do not become profitable by adding strategies, indicators, rules, or hours. You become profitable by removing complexity, emotion, impulse, and noise. Bruce Lee said it perfectly. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. In trading terms, fear not the trader who knows 10,000 strategies, but fear the trader who has mastered one. The amateur adds. The professional subtracts. The amateur complicates. The professional simplifies. The amateur does everything. The professional does one thing. The amateur trades constantly. The professional trades occasionally. The amateur works hard. The professional works smart. The amateur forces. The professional flows. Every market wizard started where you are now. They all believed that more effort would produce better results. They all went through the phase of complexity and overtrading. They all experienced the frustration of working harder for worse results. And they all had their awakening moment when they realized the truth. Success in trading is not about doing more. It is about doing less better. It is not about catching every move. It is about catching the right moves. It is not about being active. It is about being effective. It is not about trading all the time. It is about trading at the right time. This truth extends into every aspect of trading. Risk management is not about complex formulas. It is about simple rules followed religiously. Profit-taking is not about sophisticated algorithms. It is about letting winners run and cutting losers short. System development is not about optimization. It is about robustness. Psychology is not about motivation. It is about discipline. When you finally accept this truth, everything changes. The pressure disappears. The stress evaporates. The confusion clears. You stop fighting battles that cannot be won. You stop playing games that cannot be beaten. You stop trying to outsmart the market and start flowing with it. You realize that the market is not your enemy. It is your teacher. Every loss is a lesson. Every win is a test. The market is constantly showing you what works and what does not. But you can only see these lessons when you slow down enough to notice them. The hyperactive trader learns nothing because he is too busy trading to reflect. The patient trader learns everything because he has time to study his results. The hyperactive trader repeats the same mistakes forever. The patient trader makes each mistake once. This is why experience without reflection is worthless in trading. You can trade for 10 years and learn nothing if you never stop to examine what you are doing. Or you can trade for 1 year with deep reflection and master the game. Time in the market means nothing. Conscious time in the market means everything. So here is my challenge to you. For the next month, cut your trading activity by 90%. Take only your absolute best setups. Follow only your simplest rules. Use only your clearest indicators. Trade only during your optimal hours. Watch what happens to your results. Watch what happens to your stress. Watch what happens to your clarity. Watch what happens to your confidence. I promise you will be shocked. You will discover that 10 perfect trades beat 100 mediocre ones. You will find that 1 clear strategy beats 10 confused ones. You will learn that 2 hours of focused trading beat 12 hours of screen watching. You will realize that doing less produces more in every meaningful way. This is the secret the 10% know. This is why they make money while the 90% lose. They have discovered that trading is not a game of action but a game of patience. Not a game of complexity but a game of clarity. Not a game of effort but a game of discipline. Remember the opening statement. The best traders in the world spend 90% of their time doing absolutely nothing. Now you understand why. That nothing is everything. That stillness is strength. That patience is power. That waiting is winning. While the 90% are exhausting themselves with meaningless activity, the 10% are conserving energy for meaningful opportunity. While the 90% are drowning in complexity, the 10% are thriving in simplicity. While the 90% are forcing trades, the 10% are selecting trades. The market rewards patience, not activity. The market rewards discipline, not intelligence. The market rewards simplicity, not complexity. The market rewards clarity, not confusion. The market rewards less, not more. This is the counterintuitive truth that transforms losing traders into profitable ones. This is the wisdom that 90% never discover. This is the secret hidden in plain sight. Trading success is not about doing more things right. It is about doing fewer things wrong. It is not about working harder. It is about working less. It is not about addition. It is about subtraction. The best traders in the world spend 90% of their time doing absolutely nothing. And that nothing is the most valuable something they could possibly do. Because in that nothing, they are waiting for something worth doing. In that stillness, they are preparing for movement. In that silence, they are listening for opportunity. And when that opportunity finally appears, they strike with the accumulated power of all that patient waiting. One perfect trade built on hours of discipline, nothing. This is how fortunes are made in the market. Not through hyperactivity, but through hyperselectivity. Not through constant motion, but through perfect timing. Not through more, but through less. The market does not care how hard you work, but it rewards those who work smart. The market does not care how much you know, but it rewards those who act on what they know. The market does not care how complex your system is, but it rewards those who execute simple systems flawlessly. Stop trying to impress the market with your effort. Start impressing your account with your results. Stop fighting the market. Start flowing with it. Stop doing more. Start doing less better. This is the path of the profitable trader. This is the way of the 10%. This is the truth that changes everything. The best traders in the world spend 90% of their time doing absolutely nothing. Now you know why, and now you can join them.